We are ready for the next part of the workshop, Tram-train, which should be the second panel discussion. Now we should focus more on the system which will hopefully take place in Brno in some, I don't know, 5-10 years, who knows. Because we do not have at the moment any questions from the audience in chat, I'll ask the presenters or the speakers if they have any recommendations for the building of the tram-train system from scratch in Brno. Do you have some recommendations, please?
I would say that, so if I seen correctly, Brno is 400,000 inhabitants, right? So,
less than that, but yes.
Yeah, so Szeged is 165,000. So I would say that, so regarding our tram-train line, there is still possible to a little bit increase the frequency, but not much due to the current infrastructure. And if I remember correctly, the actual amount of passengers on this tram-train line is something like 10,000 per day. So if you consider to convert train lines to tram-train lines, first of all, you have to be selective there as well. So again, mainline railway where there is international traffic may not be the most suitable for tram-train. In Karlsruhe, there are some examples, but there is, as far as I know, there is also some special restrictions due to the lightness of the vehicle. So, of course, if there is a heavy rail traffic, all kinds of risks of potential accidents are increasing with that. What I can see from Europe, that the tram-train has real potential where there is a existing railway infrastructure which is deprived, not really functioning, not at the best place, with a little bit. So in Kassel, we can also see that those railways which were used only for freight, those were converted to tram trains. So there has to be some consideration regarding this. Of course, since Brno's main railway network is a tram network, it's natural to think about it, but be prepared not to use the same headways as a normal train line. So if you go to have safety regulation and so on, and of course regarding the schedule also, if you want to get in a rigid railway structure and then you come from a city where there is lots of shared traffic with road traffic, then at the interface point there you have to have some buffer times and so on, so that this could be worsening the chances. So what I would say that not everywhere tram-train is suitable, but there is definitely examples. Karlsruhe is the other example, which started as a tram-train, and it turns out that it generated such a high traffic that in the end they had to build the tunnel. But it was not the initial plans that they would run on tunnels, and they are running relatively long vehicles, which was also not initially planned. So only thing I would say that you have to be careful not to design a system which would be over the capacity very soon, in this sense. So maybe Brno, for me, it's a little bit already too large, maybe to serve, for example, a single the same size of vehicle as by us. if you are able to convert your tram tracks to have a double unit operation as in Karlsruhe, that could be help. It would be also creative if you would couple or decouple vehicles, which Karlsruhe also does. But all these are potential risks. And again, Tram-train is not a magic weapon or magic wand in this sense. So you have to be mindful what are the actual proposed passenger numbers and frequency what you want to use.
Okay, thank you. I have here some map of Brno. I can introduce you. So now you should be able to see the map, and you could see clearly the existing railway network. There are two main lines. One of them is from Břeclav, from the south, going through the main station, which is here, and is going kind of a round tour around Brno to Tišnov. So this is one of the main lines. This line runs passenger trains every 15 minutes in rush hour, and also there are some reasonable amount of the freight trains. The second line, railway line, which is also the main line, is this, which is from Česká Třebová and going to also to Břeclav. So these two main lines are operated well the same actually, because there is also 15-minute interval between the personal trains. And I think the main idea was that the people who are going from the north area in above Brno would go not around Brno, but they will go through the tunnel under the city to the main station, which will be replaced here. So from here to here. And also there will be a branch from one of the biggest places where people live in Brno, which is this Bystrec district, and there's now tram line going around the river and serving this part of the city. And this should be a branch of the tunnel which should go under the city. So there will definitely be more traffic than in Szeged, but I guess the capacity issues shouldn't be there. How much trains are considered at the moment in the proposed project? Okay, so there should be 2.5 minutes headway between trains. So yes, there will be some kind of capacity buffer, but not much. So it's great to know that you are saying we should have the buffer for the capacity. It's a really good idea.
What would be the size of these trains which run every 2.5 minutes?
Well, it's 4 carriages. Okay, there are 333 places to sit. This is the set of 2 carriages, but these are just some 2 or I don't know 4 maybe, but there is 30 of the sets which are consisting of 4 carriages. So in in the rush hour, these 15 minutes headways with 4 carriages are quite full, I guess. So, yeah.
But what you are describing is more like a tunnel with conventional rail, which has a relatively high frequency.
Yeah,
and the possibility is only that this tunnel is also used by a tram-train service, which is branching off somewhere in the other suburban area.
Mm-hmm. Well, my
I would say that what you are describing, the main profile would be a main railway tunnel, something like in Leipzig. It's something like an S-Bahn system, where the only, I would say, the tram-train potential would be not to be the main actor of this or the main carrier of this system, but some branch of where you can also tie in one of the tram branches, but not the highest capacity part of the usage of the tunnel. So what you describe is something like more an extended Leipzig model, where you build a main tunnel where you try to frequent a railway service, hopefully not too much stops in order to have a high speed within the city, so some sort of metro. And then you can think about to have some, so the main branches are the railway, but some of the trams could be also diverted in this tunnel as a tram-train operation. So outskirts using the existing tram infrastructure, but instead of going through the city and stop everywhere, you can have some express service through this tunnel from certain outskirt area. So what I see from your description, this is what could be a feasible alternative, which would increase the usage of that tunnel, but the main capacity is from the railway.
In the study, there was something like 40,000 people on railway and 40,000 people on tram services considered. So it's quite a lot. Okay. So are there any questions from the audience?
Maybe one comment from me. So I definitely encourage that do not build any insular systems. So either integrate in the tram system or the railway system. It's in case of Brno, I would say the railway system is the main integration part. So I think that's a good idea that Brno abandoned the single metro line, because you are building a third system, which is, if none of those systems are comprehensively reach the city, you end up the situation in Budapest, where you have tram system, metro system, railway system, all of them are different. The suburban railway is also different, and there is the possibility of making a network, possibility to easily develop the network by diverting some routes. This is lost completely in Budapest, and with the tram system was also very much isolated, and they are now trying to do back to get these connections. And even everywhere what we see in Budapest, that they opened the connection with a short building of some connecting tram line, and suddenly the lack of interchange generates traffic. A recent example in Budapest, that they built a short connecting section of the line number 2 on the tram line number 2 alongside the Danube to tram lines out to the outskirts of Budapest. This became the line number 2B, and everybody expected that previously the tram line was very much not used. Bus service was much better. The fact that people don't have to exchange between bus and tram, or between 2 trams, and you can just travel through, generated surprisingly high amount of passengers. The same was true with the line 17 in Budapest on the Buda side. So definitely there is attractiveness of the rail transport, and there is an attractiveness just to skip the interchanges. So this is why I say that either connect to the railway, either connect to the tramway. That's definitely a good direction. The good question is, of course, if you put too many stops for the railway, then it loses its speed. So there is going to need to be some compromise there, or some very strategically good stops. But it seems to me that Brno is over the size that everything should put on a tram network. So it's much bigger than that. Szeged is much more compact and much more smaller size. So these tram trains are more, I would say, more efficient if they can serve really the inner city without spending too much time. And one critique for the Old Mezővásárhely tram train was already that it takes too much time to get out with the tram from the city until Roku station. And at Roku station only starts the 100 kilometers per hour. There are too many stops. Well, we couldn't take out any stops because these were required due to the existing route. So one of the critique for the Old Mezővásárhely tram train was that it promised a little bit higher speed than it was delivered. So this will be much more pronounced in Brno, I would say, because the city is much bigger. So if you connect to the edge of the city, and then you have to go through the conventional tram line in order to get to the city center or the main locations, that's going to be, on one hand, there's going to be one less interchange, but the speed could be a problem the bigger the city is.
Okay, it's great view. I think the study, which is now almost to the end, also somehow goes to this almost the same statement, and the railway looks like the best, I guess. One of the things which really took railway higher is the speed, and I think that's really good point. Thank you very much. Thank you, the guest speakers. You have been very helpful to us. And maybe some of you will have some questions after this. So if you have the questions, or if you will have the questions, please mail them to us, and we will somehow get them answered. So do not hesitate and post them. And that would be all. So I am Tomas Riha. I was the host of the event of workshop Tram-train. Thank you very much for your attendance, and have a good afternoon.